to get more information about you and your work in the creator economy and working with influencers. So maybe just introduce yourself a little bit and
Okay. Should I focus on what I've done over the past 15 years, or should I just focus on the
just let's focus on the
influencers?
creator economy and influencers. Let's focus on that.
The creator economy, I
It's
like that word because
encompassing
it's something
a
that
large group of
is a
people.
word that
Yeah.
resonates with me. Yeah, I like it. I like it. I like it so much. The creator economy and Eshio Joseph. So again, good morning. I am Joseph Eshio Oganya. That's my name. For over a decade actually, I've been working with brands, talents, and creatives in different spaces from tech to oil and gas to music and the FMCG sector, where I've been able to handle, and execute campaigns for different brands, including the biggest and most prestigious music award show called the Headies. Now, as the
Yes, I can hear
Headies,
you. I think
can you
there's
hear me?
feedback a bit.
Okay, at the Headies, I sat at the time as director
Ladies.
of global strategy, where
Okay.
at Headies, yeah, director of global strategy, where I handle my job was to liaise with brands, bringing their partnership or sponsorship to life through digital campaigns. And what I did was I was in charge of creating unique ideas for each of these brands, tailored to whatever it is that KPI was, and working with influencers that I had access to internally. I'm talking over
In Nigeria,
3,000
yeah?
influencers
Or outside of
in
Nigeria as well.
executing these different campaigns. Um, I have the access that I have currently. I have influencers in Nigeria and different parts of Africa. That's internal. That's where I have access to. That's on one side. So what we did was um, for these brands now I'm talking about Bet Ninja, Mini Noodles, Munchies, Kellogg's. I'm talking about the entire tolerant portfolio. We handle that. Also for Right Foods, that's Biggie and Fearless. I handle that too. Talking about MTN, I handle that integration for VAS,
Oh, so
Value
you're
Added
mentioning
Service. That's
specific
something I did
campaigns you worked on.
while I was in
Like
the
you
head.
can
So
pinpoint
after this,
specific campaigns you worked on with several brands.
I'm about
Okay,
to.
okay, okay.
That's the
That's
next.
good to
That's
know.
the next phase of the conversation. Now, thank you for that. Now, for Munchit, part of what we did recently was to amplify their partnership with Big Brother Nigeria, where we had to create a specific hashtag and also make it trend on X. That was when Wani and Wani, one of those participants of Big Brother during the Big Brother live show, our job was to ensure that they were trending in the conversation where they had their events. That was one. Another that I did was stay home with the headies during the COVID period. Our job was to amplify the award in itself, and what we did was to ensure brands got their money's worth. And in a bid to do that, uh, especially for Bet Niger, created a unique code for the headies where we told influencers to amplify at the time and also push for more people to sign up on Bet Niger and enjoy discounts. That's for one. For what's it called? Munch It. We had a street campaign where we had MC Relax and Gift, MC of that period. They went to the street. They asked people about what their favorite flavor was as at the time. Then what we did was to we took those contents, send it internally to our influencers, and they amplify accordingly across their social media platforms. And we also handled for hold on. Yes, Field Base. Field Base is a tech company. What they focus on is telecommunications or internet services for oil and gas sector. And our job was to not only provide influencers for amplification, but we created articles that were sent to news platforms and content platforms that increase their visibility. For the influencers, what we did was we sent them keywords, sent briefs, different briefs to these guys where we had keywords specific to people downloading what's it called about downloading and uploading for this
Starlink.
Elon Musk internet. Hold on. Starlink, yes. It was when Starlink was introducing themselves to the African market, and Fieldbase was an official partner. So my job on that project was to ensure that people knew that they could get Starlink through Fieldbase at an affordable rate. So that was part of what we did, and that was last year. Well, this year, for the rest of this year, we have a campaign. I'm working on a 3 month long campaign. We have on our list already. We have about 350 influencers that are working it across major, minor, and micro influencers that are working with. All in all, I sit at the intersection of being a campaign handler to a global executor and also to a high thinking strategist when it comes to coming up with the ideas, handling these campaigns, and monitoring these conversations, ensuring that it becomes a trending topic or it rises at the what's it called, number one to number five on the table. Also, just as a note of mention, I worked with the Kogi State governor, that's as at the time Yaya Bello, to handle campaign with influencers at the time. So he was having a novelty match with his cabinet with the ex Super Eagles. So it was his cabinet versus the ex Super Eagles. So my job that day was to amplify this match. It was same day that Nigeria was also playing in Calabar, and that convention that we started was number two on the training table, while the Nigerian match was number one. So it gave us really good positioning in the face of the governor at the time. It gave us other projects to handle aside that particular one, and also
Yeah, it
I'm
looks
just
like you
trying
have
to
quite
point out
quite a
like
lot to talk about because you've been in the
key
industry
when
for
it
a
comes to
long period
campaign
of time. So you have
strategy.
quite a lot to talk about. Yeah. So
Yeah, like
are there
yeah, like
specific like okay
I'm
maybe
well
online
grounded.
audiences that you can pinpoint maybe like your LinkedIn post, your Instagram that you can pinpoint. Okay,
Yes,
so after this, I think after this one I'll
yes,
just get the links to your pages and go include them in the videos as well.
yeah. Hashtag stay home with the headies. Hashtag field based Starlink. Hashtag non-stop, minimum non-stop, won't stop.
All right, no
And I
problem,
will send everything to you, both
no
from the
problem.
keywords
So
that we've
actually,
used over time and also
the
campaign that
keynote of
we've
this is
handled
actually I want
internally.
to know what are the problems you face when it comes to interacting or working with this creator. What are the most significant problems you face? What's the most significant one that you say okay you can say it's been repeated or it's been recurring for a long period of time?
If I get you
Yeah,
correctly, is
working
that
with the
working
creators or
with
the creators, the
creatives?
influencers themselves.
One major issues that I face is understanding and interpretation of briefs is a key challenge in the sense that for a creator to successfully execute a campaign, you need to call a meeting, explain nitty-gritty of what the KPIs are, what the client expects, and also how they should move. Because if you give them the creative license, it's good to give them creative license sometimes,
You mean creative
while
freedom or
every other time you need
creative
to be
freedom? Yeah.
specific with
Okay. Yeah.
license.
Yeah.
Yeah, freedom is
Yeah.
what the world call it. But on the strategies, I will call it creative license. License in the sense that they are free to do whatever it is they want to do. So creative freedom works too. And once you give them that, they might just want to be extra creative and just deliver something that's not as powerful as it's supposed to be. Some might drop the ball, some might not deliver at all. Another thing I faced with on the there's no loyalty in this system in the sense that I don't think that's a problem. It's just an observation. A creator will go to the highest bidder anytime. Like we will work with the highest bidder, even if you have a campaign going on, they don't care. So far you're paying them more money, they are happy to bounce. Um, what are the challenges I faced? Interpretation of brief. Yeah, you need to be on them every day. Like you need to be on them every day. Either because they are busy or they are distracted, or again, first thing I said, lack of proper understanding of how to execute it. And except celebrity influencers, like the major influencers, those ones they've had year and
Yeah,
year
so
and
they
year and
probably have
years
a
of
detailed
training and
process
practice.
for
So
for
they've been
working
able
with
to
different
properly
different
execute
brands.
that.
That's pretty interesting.
Yeah,
So that's actually the main focus of this meeting is
yeah.
actually to try to pinpoint what the problems are specifically when it comes to working with these creators. So based on your experience, if you would say okay, this is the field you would like to improve, or you feel like okay, they should improve as creators. Are these the same fields you will be um focused on? These fields you mentioned as problems. If there is a field that you can easily change or like if there's a
Can you
specific
please
field
repeat
when it
your
comes to
question
working with
again?
creators that you feel like okay you want to change or you want to improve. Are these mentions the problems? Are these problems you mentioned the fields you'll be focused on changing or improving?
Education is the first step.
You feel like majority of creators, okay,
Probably enlightening
like
like
creators need to get
creators.
enlightened.
Yeah, probably enlightening them. Yeah, and a lot of them just have numbers. They don't have brand positioning or branding.
Hmm.
So that way they get to do whatever it is that they like, whatever bring money,
So the
like I
market
said
is
earlier.
very well too free
So I'm
without any
saying that those
structure.
are
The
the
market
key
doesn't have any
focus.
significant structure. So
Yeah,
okay,
it does it
when
actually.
it comes
It
to
does it actually.
budgeting or determining, because obviously if you are creating a campaign, you have to budget ahead of the campaign. When it comes to budgeting or determining okay how much the
Yeah.
brand wants to pay for the campaign, how do you match? Because it looks like creators give you a feedback on the price you are going to pay. So it's not really like you can budget ahead. You have to talk to creators before you start your budgeting. Is that how you actually operate your budgeting?
So here's the thing, for years of experience that I have, we've built proper relationship with these guys where I wouldn't need to be calling how far, how much would you do. It's a matter of having like the list I said that we have already that we work with. You declare your budget. If you have like a 20 million budget, 30 million, 10 million, whatever it is, you let me know. We'll plan backwards, we'll plan backwards in the sense that we have a long list already. We review, okay, this can give you X amount. Like the invoice that we sent recently, that's how we did it. There's a declared budget and we sent a full plan with the budget instead of going back and forth. Because if you were to do the other option, it means that it means that you have to be calling everybody. Oh, how much is your rate card now? What's your rate card? Can you not do this one? It's just a longer
So
time and longer
are you saying
process.
based on your relationship
So
with them,
sitting at
once you
the
offer them or provide a particular price rate to them, they just accept it, decide to work with you nonetheless because you have a good relationship with them?
No, I'm saying that based on the experiences that I have, I'm able to negotiate properly. I'm not saying that I'm offering them and they're accepting it. No. Negotiate properly, one, and I'm able to carve specific influencers that fit the budget perfectly well. Two things. I'll be able to negotiate on behalf of the client, and another is get influencers that fit perfectly into the budget.
So
That's what I
a
mean.
majority of that particular budgeting and planning is based on your personal experience of the industry.
Yes. If you're to request rate card from 300 people, I'm sure before you get the rate card, all 300 of them, you probably might just get tired or time
So
just
getting the
might
rate
have
card of all
elapsed.
300 or 300 of
So
them,
we have
yeah.
built a
So you
bridge
already
that
know the
cuts.
average range.
I've built a bridge that cuts that. Yeah.
Okay, great. I think that's a problem that actually requires solving as well. So, I think what's the last question? I think I had a particular last question, which was I think it still relates to budgeting, but let's say okay, you're building a campaign, um, and the client wants a specific like ROI range. I think from what you're saying here, majority of your campaign is mostly about awareness, building awareness. So you really can't give uh, figures when it comes to a client asking about ROI or the possible ROI from the campaign you are doing for them.
I've actually handled campaign for
Okay.
sales before. And that field-based Starlink partnership, it was for sales, for selling of the Starlink modem. And that's even the most recent. And that's something that we did. And that campaign was very specific in the sense it was specific for the audience type. We had to get influencers that they have good numbers first of all, that have good solid target audience that can afford Starlink. So
Sorry,
to
before
do
you
that,
proceed and say that
we
further,
created a
what are the
system where we can.
metrics? What are the typical metrics that you are looking at to estimate, or that you look at normally to estimate those conversions or possibility of having a good ROI? What are the metrics you look at?
Beautiful. Now, key metrics. First of all, in answering, you need to answer that the client should have given specific KPIs, right? Meaning that either they want a certain number of traffic to their website, or excuse me, or they want certain number of followers to their platform, or they want conversion, like we're talking about. Now, if it's an awareness campaign, definitely we're targeting impression. We're looking at how many people are looking at it. Then we target click through rate. Then we have that. If we're looking at the conversion now that we're talking about for that particular campaign, we had them call the sales agent. That was the landing page that was given. So sales agent handled the negotiation and getting the feedback. So they handled that and they could track the success internally. But on our end, from reports that we get, we know that, or we got from them, we know that okay, the campaign was a success. Why? Because they
So
had
you
multiple
are
people
you're
calling at the time.
okay.
Now, for the other, maybe for
Okay, I'm
conversation,
listening. Yeah. Yeah.
okay, can I go ahead? For the other conversation, let's say your KPI is a conversation based campaign where which we have number of brands and talents that we've done that for, just people talking about them on the internet, on social media. So what we did was we had briefs that were sent. We had tailored example conversation or comments or example direction for the conversation. We had that sent to them, so they needed to create something around it to amplify accordingly. So for that, what we're tracking was mention, and also we're tracking impression again, and we're also tracking the conversation table where we had to check if it was a positive sentiment or negative sentiment. So we needed to, and some of them they would need to move their brand name from being negative to being positive. So that's part of what we track, or what I personally track when I'm checking for a
Oh,
successful
awesome,
campaign.
awesome. So as far as marketing is concerned and the ROI is concerned, majority of the part where it comes to monetary ROI has to come from the sales department. But your click through rates, your impressions, still mostly brand awareness area is what you actually help these brands to do. Yeah.
Again, like I said, the specific campaign that we handled
Okay.
for field base was
Okay.
tracked by the sales team. Why? Because the landing page they provided was that. For the other ones that they needed to maybe sell something on their e-commerce website or sell a book, that one is a straight
Okay.
conversation leading
So you
to
can easily get
purchases.
okay. They can easily tell you that okay,
And you needed to
we
verify
did a
that
campaign of 20
part of.
million naira and we got 50 million naira from the campaign. We got 100 million naira from the campaign. They can easily tell you that or feed you back that. Do brands typically feed you back this kind of information? I said okay. They
Say
can
that again,
easily tell
please.
you, hey, we did a campaign or we campaign. The campaign we did was we spent 20 million naira, we spent 30 million naira, and we got 150 million naira back from that campaign. Do brands typically reach out to you to give you that kind of information, or you don't? Once your part is done, you just move on.
Now, for some of the brands, some of them, I'm saying some, not everybody wants to give out that kind of information, definitely. But some of the brands, they will give access to an executive like myself to see, okay, if the campaign is working or not. I'll give you a good example. We have a company, we have a partnership with a major programmatic display advertising company where whatever campaign we're having, we're putting it on our back end. Then we create access for them to see. So we see the data that they see. So a number of times we have it on that platform where we're seeing how many people clicked it, how many people have actually made a purchase. All those dashboard backend, they are sensitive data that we have access to. So it can either be what you mentioned
So
or
you can
this
as
way.
well just put those information into your portfolio and say, okay, this is how much we're able to do. This is how much we're able to do for this brand from our campaign.
Because of
It depends if it depends if
confidentiality
the
clauses, I'm
yeah
not
if it's
about
part
allowed
of
to
it. It
do
depends
that.
if you are allowed or not from the brand. So the brands typically allow you to do that. The brands typically
Yeah,
allow you, or like a majority of brands, just from your experience, don't.
a number of brands, a number of brands don't allow
Right.
that. They don't want to put that information out there. Yeah, they don't want to put that information
Okay.
out there.
Thank you very much. Really appreciate your how do we call it? You're so forthcoming, shared so much information, even though I'm a total stranger to you. I really appreciate it. I'm actually doing this for research purposes, and I really appreciate you spending some time with me today and giving me part of your time today. It's a very, very honorable thing to do, and I really appreciate it. So I'm going to hit you back again, hit you up on WhatsApp again for the information you promised to share earlier. And then if I have any other questions, can I also still call back and try to get more information from you? Thank you very much, sir.
Sure.